It was a cold winter afternoon when Maya, a 10-year-old girl, walked home from school. The snow had already started to fall, and the streets were quiet. Maya was bundled up in her favorite red jacket, with a bright green scarf wrapped tightly around her neck, keeping her warm. She had just finished her school day and was eager to get home and enjoy a hot cup of cocoa with her mom. As she walked down the street, she noticed something that made her stop. An elderly woman was sitting on a bench near the corner, looking cold and tired. She was bundled in a faded coat and had a scarf loosely draped over her shoulders, but it clearly wasn't enough to protect her from the biting cold of the winter air. Maya could see that the woman's hands were shaking slightly, and she looked like she was struggling to stay warm. Maya hesitated for a moment. She was already running late, and her house was still a few blocks away. But something about the woman's quiet, lonely expression made Maya's heart ache. She remembered how her mom always told her that small acts of kindness could make a big difference. With that thought in mind, Maya made her decision. She walked up to the woman and said softly, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you okay?" The woman looked up at Maya, startled at first, but then a small smile appeared on her face. "Oh, I'm fine, dear. Just a little cold," she replied, her voice soft but tired. Maya glanced down at the scarf around her neck. It was the one her grandmother had given her for Christmas, and she loved it dearly. But seeing the woman shiver made Maya feel like she could do something to help. Without saying another word, Maya gently untied the scarf and wrapped it around the woman's shoulders. The woman looked up in surprise, but Maya only smiled and said, "I think you need it more than I do. Please keep it." The woman's eyes filled with gratitude as she felt the warmth of the scarf around her neck. "Thank you, dear," she said, her voice shaking a little with emotion. "You are such a kind girl." Maya nodded and wished the woman a warm day before she turned to leave. She continued her walk home, feeling a sense of pride in her heart. She knew that helping the woman had been the right thing to do, even though it had meant sacrificing her own scarf. As Maya walked home through the quiet, snow-covered streets, she thought about the woman sitting alone on the bench. Maya wondered how long the woman had been out there, and how many other people had walked by without offering a word of kindness. It made Maya realize that there were many people in the world who needed help, even if they didn't always ask for it. When Maya finally reached her house, she was still thinking about the woman on the bench. Her mother was in the kitchen, making dinner, and Maya ran inside to tell her about the encounter. "Mom, I met a woman sitting on a bench downtown. She looked so cold, and I gave her my scarf," Maya explained. Her mother smiled warmly at her daughter. "That was very thoughtful of you, Maya," she said. "Kindness is one of the most important things we can offer the world." Maya beamed at her mother's praise. Little did she know, her simple act of kindness was about to lead to something much bigger. The next day, an unexpected event would unfold that no one could have predicted, starting with the woman Maya helped. The next day after Maya's kind act, she woke up to the usual sounds of her mother making breakfast in the kitchen. The sun was shining through the window, casting a warm glow on the living room. Maya stretched and yawned, remembering the events of yesterday. Helping the woman on the bench had made her feel good, but little did she know that it was just the beginning of something far bigger. After breakfast, Maya went outside to play in the snow, as it was a rare opportunity for her to enjoy the winter weather. She made a snowman in her backyard and threw a few snowballs. She was having fun, but she couldn't help thinking about the elderly woman sitting on the bench. Maya wondered if she had found a way to stay warm and if she was still out there. It made her feel happy to think that maybe her small act had made a difference. However, just as Maya was brushing off the snow from her boots and getting ready to go back inside, she noticed something unusual. A police car had pulled up right in front of her house, and a couple of officers were getting out of the vehicle. Maya felt her heart race a little. She wasn't sure why they were here, but she felt a strange sense of unease. She hurried inside to ask her mom if they were expecting any visitors. "Mama, there's a police car outside. What's going on?" Maya asked, her voice full of curiosity. Her mother looked out the window and then back at Maya, a concerned expression on her face. "I'm not sure, sweetheart. Stay inside for a moment, okay? Let me go find out." Maya watched her mother walk to the door and open it, greeting the officers. The moment she saw them, Maya noticed their serious expressions. One of the officers was holding a notepad, and the other was looking around the street as if they were searching for someone. Maya's mind raced, wondering if something had happened to the woman she had helped yesterday. A few minutes passed, and Maya's curiosity got the better of her. She went to the window and peered outside. She saw her mother talking to the officers, and they were pointing toward the corner of the street, where the park bench was. Maya's heart skipped a beat. Suddenly, her mother called out to her, "Maya, come here for a second." Maya rushed to the door, wondering what was going on. As she stepped outside, one of the officers turned to her. He was tall, with a calm demeanor, but there was something serious in his eyes. "Maya, we're here because we're trying to find a woman who was sitting on this bench yesterday. She's homeless, and she's been in and out of shelters. We believe she might be in need of more help than she's willing to accept." Maya was a little confused. "But I just gave her my scarf," she said softly, her voice shaking a little. "I didn't mean to cause any trouble." The officer nodded. "We know you meant well, young lady. But this woman, her name is Linda, has been going through some difficult times. We received a call this morning saying that she's been involved in some situations that could be dangerous. We need to make sure she's okay." Maya's mother stepped in. "So you're saying she's in some kind of trouble?" The officer sighed. "It's a little more complicated than that. We're trying to locate her to make sure she's safe. Sometimes people refuse help when they need it most. We just want to make sure Linda is getting the assistance she needs." Maya's heart sank as she realized the woman she had helped might be in even more danger than she had thought. She hadn't expected this. All she had wanted to do was show a simple act of kindness, and now the situation was much more serious. The officers left after speaking to Maya and her mother for a few more minutes, promising to keep them informed about what happened next. Maya stood there for a moment, feeling conflicted. She had hoped her gesture would make a difference, but now she wasn't sure what else could be done. Later that day, as Maya sat on the couch, her thoughts kept drifting back to Linda. She wanted to help, but she felt helpless. Her mother had explained that the best thing they could do was wait and hope that the police could get Linda the help she needed. But Maya couldn't shake the feeling that her small act of kindness might have caused more harm than good. The following day, Maya's mind was filled with thoughts of Linda, the woman she had helped the day before. She couldn't shake the image of Linda sitting on the cold bench, her face tired and weary. Even though she had offered her scarf, Maya wondered if she had truly done enough. She hadn't expected to be involved in something so serious, and she couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. That afternoon, Maya's mother received a phone call. She listened carefully, nodding as the person on the other end spoke. When she hung up, her face looked even more concerned. Maya, sensing that something important was happening, asked, "Who was that, Mama? What happened?" Her mother sighed and sat down beside her. "It's about Linda," she said, her voice soft. "The police have located her. They found her yesterday, wandering near the park. She's agreed to go to a shelter, finally, but it wasn't an easy decision for her." Maya's heart lifted slightly. At least Linda was getting the help she needed, but she couldn't ignore the worry she felt. "Is she okay?" Maya asked. Her mother nodded. "Yes, but Linda has been through a lot. She's faced so many challenges in her life, and it's been hard for her to trust anyone. The police say that she's been in and out of shelters, refusing help each time. But now it seems like she's finally willing to accept it." Maya thought about Linda's weary face and the way her eyes seemed to carry a burden no one her age should have to bear. Maya wanted to do more, but she wasn't sure how to help beyond what she had already done. Later that day, Maya's curiosity got the best of her. She decided to take a walk to the park, hoping to see if she could find out more about Linda's situation. As she walked along the path, she saw the police car parked near the same bench where she had first encountered Linda. The area was quiet, and there was no sign of the woman. Maya felt a wave of sadness. But just as she was about to turn and leave, she saw a familiar face walking toward her. It was Sarah, the outreach worker who had been trying to help Linda. Sarah had short, dark hair and a warm smile that made Maya feel comfortable instantly. Maya greeted her, and Sarah stopped to chat. "Hey, Maya," Sarah said. "I'm glad to see you. I was just coming to check on Linda. She's doing much better now, thanks to the support she's finally accepting. We found a safe place for her to stay." Maya smiled, relieved to hear the good news. "I'm so glad to hear that," she said. "I was worried after everything that happened." Sarah nodded. It's been a journey for her. Sometimes people in difficult situations need a little push, but they also need to be ready to take the step themselves. Linda wasn't ready at first, but now she is. We're working together to help her move forward. Maya felt a sense of pride in her heart. Her small act of kindness had led to this moment. It wasn't just the scarf that had made a difference. It was the compassion and care that Sarah and others had shown Linda. As a community, Sarah continued, we can make a real difference. It's people like you, Maya, who help remind us that kindness is always worth it, no matter how small the gesture. Maya smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. She had never thought of herself as someone who could make a huge impact, but now she understood that even the smallest act of kindness could change someone's life. The conversation with Sarah gave Maya hope. She understood that Linda was now surrounded by people who cared, and she could rest easy knowing that she had done what she could to help. As Maya walked back home, she realized that her simple act of giving her scarf to a stranger had led her to a bigger story, one of kindness, perseverance, and the power of community. It had taught her that sometimes we all need a little help to get back on our feet, and that small acts of compassion can ripple through the world, making it a better place. As the days passed, Maya continued her school routine, but her thoughts often drifted back to Linda. She felt proud of the small act of kindness she had shown, but still wondered if there was more she could do. Her mother had reassured her that the situation was under control, but Maya couldn't shake the feeling that Linda's struggles weren't over yet. One afternoon, Maya was at the local library, reading a book for her school project, when she bumped into Sarah again. Sarah was holding a folder, her expression kind but serious. Maya smiled and waved, and Sarah walked over to her with a warm smile. "Hey, Maya," Sarah said kindly. "I was just looking for you, actually." Maya felt a twinge of nervousness. "Me? What's going on?" Sarah chuckled softly. "Don't worry, it's nothing bad. I just wanted to update you on Linda. She's settling into her new place and doing better, but she asked me to give you something." Maya's eyes widened in surprise. "Give me something? What do you mean?" Sarah smiled and handed Maya a small envelope. "She wanted to thank you for what you did, and she's hoping it will help you understand how much it meant to her." Maya took the envelope from Sarah, feeling a sense of anticipation. Inside, there was a small card and a letter. She opened the card first, which was beautifully handwritten in neat script. It read, "Dear Maya, I want to thank you for your kindness. You didn't just give me warmth that day. You gave me hope. I've been through so much, and I felt like no one cared. But your small gesture reminded me that there is kindness in the world. I may not have much, but I will never forget you. With all my heart, Linda." Maya felt her heart swell as she read the words. She had never imagined that something as simple as giving a scarf could have such an impact on someone's life. She paused for a moment, reflecting on Linda's words. Turning the page, Maya saw a photograph tucked inside the letter. It was a picture of Linda, sitting on the same park bench where they had first met. She was smiling, and there was a glint of hope in her eyes that Maya hadn't seen before. She looked like a different person, someone who had found a little peace after years of struggle. Sarah watched Maya silently, knowing how much the letter and photo meant to her. She's doing well now. She's finally getting the support she needs, and she's started to look forward to what's next. You helped her take the first step. Maya smiled up at Sarah. I didn't do much. I just gave her my scarf. You did more than that, Sarah replied gently. You reminded her that someone cared. You gave her something no one had in a long time. Hope. Maya felt a sense of pride in her chest. She had always thought that little acts of kindness didn't mean much, but now she realized how powerful they could be. Linda's transformation was a testament to the difference that one small act could make. As Maya headed home that afternoon, she felt a new sense of purpose. She didn't need to be a superhero or have a lot of money to make a difference. Sometimes, the simplest actions, like giving away a scarf or lending a helping hand, could change someone's life forever. That evening, as Maya sat down with her family for dinner, she told her mother about the letter and the photograph from Linda. Her mom listened with a smile, proud of the kindness Maya had shown. You've taught me something today, Maya, her mother said. You've shown me that kindness can be contagious. When you help others, they're more likely to help someone else. Maya nodded, feeling more than just proud. She felt empowered. She knew that even though Linda's journey wasn't over, she had made a real difference in someone's life. And that, Maya realized, was all that truly mattered. A few weeks passed since Maya received Linda's heartfelt letter. Though she had returned to her normal routine, the memory of Linda stayed with her. It was clear that the act of kindness had changed her in ways she hadn't expected. She found herself more aware of the needs of those around her. Maya often thought of Linda, wondering how she was doing and whether she was still adjusting to her new life. One chilly morning, Maya was walking home from school when she noticed a familiar figure sitting on a bench in the park near her house. It was Linda. She was bundled up in a warm coat, a scarf wrapped around her neck, and a peaceful expression on her face. Maya's heart skipped a beat as she saw her, and she couldn't resist walking over. Linda, Maya called softly. Linda looked up in surprise, but when she saw Maya, her face broke into a smile. Maya, it's so good to see you, she said warmly. Maya smiled back, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. I'm glad to see you too. How are you? Is everything okay? Linda nodded. Yes, everything is better now. I've been staying in a shelter, and they've been helping me find a job. It's not easy, but I'm taking things one step at a time. Maya sat down on the bench next to Linda, feeling a deep sense of relief. It was clear that Linda was starting to rebuild her life, and that gave Maya hope. She hadn't expected to see Linda again, and it felt good to know that her small act had played a part in this change. I've been thinking about you, Maya said after a moment. I'm really glad you're doing better. I was worried. Linda smiled kindly, her eyes twinkling with gratitude. I appreciate that, Maya. You were the first person to show me that someone cared. I was in such a dark place before, but you made me realize that there is kindness in the world. You helped me get to this point. Maya felt a warmth in her heart, a sense of pride in knowing that her simple act of kindness had made a real difference. But at the same time, she felt a bit uncomfortable. I didn't do much. I just gave you my scarf. Linda shook her head, her voice firm. You did more than that. You made me believe in myself again. You reminded me that no matter how hard things get, there are people out there who care. Maya was silent for a moment, processing Linda's words. It was clear that the act of kindness had affected Linda deeply, in ways Maya had never imagined. It was a reminder of the power of empathy and compassion, how even the smallest gestures could create ripples of change. The two of them sat in silence for a while, just enjoying each other's company. Maya was glad she had come across Linda again. She hadn't expected to see her, but it felt like the right thing to do. It was proof that kindness was not just a one-time thing. It was something that could grow and evolve, creating meaningful connections between people. Eventually, Linda stood up, adjusting her scarf. I need to head to work soon, she said, but I just wanted to say thank you again. You've made such a difference in my life, Maya. I'll never forget you. Maya stood up as well, her heart full. I'm glad I could help, and I'll never forget you either, Linda. They hugged briefly before Linda walked away, leaving Maya standing in the park, feeling proud of the connection they had shared. As Maya walked home, she couldn't help but reflect on how one small act of kindness could change someone's entire life. She realized that she wasn't just helping Linda, she was also growing as a person. She had learned that kindness, no matter how small, could lead to something bigger, something more meaningful. As time passed, Maya's life seemed to return to its usual rhythm. School, friends, and family kept her busy, but she couldn't forget Linda. Every so often, she would think of the woman who had been so lost and alone, yet had found hope again through a small act of kindness. Maya had made a promise to herself that she would continue to do good in the world, just as she had for Linda. One Saturday morning, Maya and her mother decided to volunteer at a local food bank. Maya had been looking for ways to make a positive impact, and her mother had suggested the food bank as a good place to start. Together, they arrived early, ready to help those in need. As Maya helped organize boxes of food, she noticed a familiar face in the crowd. It was Linda. She was wearing a warm smile and was carrying a bag of donated food, looking more confident than the last time Maya had seen her. "Linda," Maya called out, waving excitedly. Linda turned and saw Maya. Her face lit up as she walked over, her steps full of purpose. "Maya, it's so good to see you," she exclaimed. Maya smiled back, feeling a rush of happiness. "I didn't expect to see you here. How have you been?" Linda nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "I'm doing well. I've been working part-time at the shelter and helping out with community projects. It's been a big change, but I'm finally starting to feel like I'm on the right track." Maya was amazed at how far Linda had come. The last time they had met, Linda had been struggling just to get by. Now she was helping others, just as Maya had once helped her. It was a beautiful transformation that left Maya feeling inspired. "I'm so proud of you, Linda," Maya said sincerely. "You've come a long way." Linda placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. "I couldn't have done it without you, Maya. You gave me the encouragement I needed to keep going. You taught me that kindness is powerful." Maya smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. She had never expected that one small gesture would lead to such a profound impact. Linda's journey was proof that even the smallest acts of kindness could spark a change in someone's life. As the day went on, Maya and Linda worked together, organizing food and talking with others who came by for help. They shared stories of their lives and their hopes for the future. Linda spoke about her plans to go back to school and eventually find a stable job that would allow her to give back to the community in even bigger ways. Maya felt a sense of pride, knowing that her simple act of kindness had set Linda on this path. Later that afternoon, as Maya and her mother packed up to leave, Linda came over to thank them once again. "I'll never forget what you did for me, Maya," she said with a smile. "I hope one day I can do the same for someone else." Maya looked at Linda, feeling deeply moved by her words. "You're already doing it," she replied. "By being here, helping others, you're making a difference in so many lives." Linda nodded. "I just want to keep moving forward. I want to make the world a better place, just like you've shown me." As they parted ways, Maya walked home with a deep sense of fulfillment. She realized that Linda's journey was not just about overcoming struggles. It was about the power of kindness and the ripple effect it had. One act of compassion could spread, helping others find hope and strength to move forward. Maya had learned that true change came not from grand gestures, but from the simple, everyday acts of kindness that built strong communities and changed lives. She knew that, no matter where life took her, she would always try to help others, just as she had helped Linda. The months passed quickly, and Maya continued her busy life, but Linda's journey remained in her heart. The two had stayed in touch through occasional phone calls and visits, and each time they met, Linda seemed to be getting stronger. She had started taking night classes to earn her high school diploma, and with the support of the community, Linda was slowly rebuilding her life. Maya couldn't help but feel proud of her friend's progress. One sunny afternoon, Maya received an unexpected call from Sarah, the volunteer coordinator at the food bank. "Hi, Maya. How are you doing?" Sarah asked cheerfully. "I'm good. What's up?" Maya replied, always happy to hear from Sarah. "I wanted to let you know that Linda is receiving an award from the community for her hard work," Sarah explained. "She's been helping out with the food bank and has even started her own initiative to provide support to people in need. The town is holding a ceremony next week to recognize her efforts, and we'd love for you to be there." Maya's heart swelled with joy. She had always known Linda was capable of great things, but hearing that her friend was being honored for her contributions felt like the perfect full circle. "I'd love to be there. I'm so proud of her," Maya said, her voice filled with emotion. The day of the ceremony arrived, and Maya stood among a crowd of friends, family, and community members, waiting for the event to begin. Linda was standing on the stage, wearing a beautiful dress and beaming with pride. She had come so far from the woman who once felt alone and lost. Now she was a symbol of hope and resilience for others in the community. The ceremony began with speeches from various leaders, and then it was Linda's turn to speak. She stepped up to the microphone, looking out at the crowd with a mixture of excitement and humility. "I'm truly honored to be here today," Linda began, her voice steady and strong. "But the truth is, I wouldn't be here without the kindness of someone who didn't even know me. Maya, a little girl, gave me her scarf when I was cold and broken. That simple act of kindness changed my life. It made me realize that no matter how bad things get, there's always hope. And I've been doing my best to pass that kindness forward." Maya felt her throat tighten, the tears threatening to spill from her eyes. Linda's words were a powerful reminder of how far she had come. Maya had never imagined that her small act of kindness would lead to such a transformation. It had set in motion a chain of events that not only changed Linda's life, but also inspired many others. After the ceremony, Linda found Maya in the crowd and embraced her tightly. "Thank you for being the light in my life," she whispered. "You gave me the courage to believe in myself again." Maya smiled, her heart full of emotion. "You did the hard work, Linda. I just gave you a little nudge. I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished." As they talked, the crowd began to disperse, and Maya realized that this was just the beginning of Linda's journey. She had found her voice, her purpose, and her strength, and Maya had been a part of it all. They both knew that life wasn't always easy, but as long as they had each other and their community, they could face whatever came their way. Maya walked home that evening with a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that kindness, no matter how small, had the power to change the world, and she was grateful to have been a part of Linda's transformation. It was a lesson she would carry with her forever. One act of kindness can change a life, and from that, an entire community can grow stronger.